I don't know if adult hobby viewing YouTube, and I just noticed the camera's really crooked, so that's typical of me. I don't know if adult hobby viewing YouTube has been paying a lot of attention to this COPPA thing, but adult hobby YouTube creators really have. So, and there's been a lot of misinformation spread about it too. Basically, COPPA is like the Child Online Protection, I don't know what the other P, Act. It was passed about 20 years ago. The sum total, most crystallized explanation of the law is you cannot collect and save information over the internet on children under 14 years old. That's it. It's not about what they see. It's not about showing them advertisements and convincing them to buy things. It's not about churning out like blind box opening videos just to get kids watching them so you get all the AdSense money. It's not about that. It's purely about saving information that can identify a child as being under, or just identify a child under 14 years old, which YouTube was doing so much of in order to target the ads at children. So YouTube got in huge, enormous, expensive trouble for that recently. But YouTube and Google, who owns YouTube, instead of saying, all right, we're going to change what we're doing, we're going to make it so, say, as soon as our algorithms identify a viewer as being potentially under 14 years old, we're going to purge all the data. Nothing. Instead of doing that, they've shifted responsibility to the creators. Now, when you upload a video, you have two options. One, you can say, yes, this video is made for children. When that happens, if you monetize, which I don't, but if you do monetize, you will not get the targeted ads. So whatever amount of money you made from it will drastically decrease. Now, there are a lot of other things that happen to everybody, whether they're monetizing or not. Things I don't use, like the title cards and the information cards that show up in the end cards. But the big thing is if you set a video as being for children, you do not get comments. Comments are disabled. No comments on videos for kids. So you set a video as being not made for children. You keep all the stuff. If you're monetizing, you get the targeted ads, you get your full monetization, and you get comments. The problem comes when someone looks at your videos and says, this has been mistagged, you have actually made a video for children, you're going to get fined by the government. It's YouTube has actually made a video saying, we're not having anything to do with this. You set your videos for kids or not, and leave us out of it. We have nothing to do with it. Get a lawyer. Don't talk to us. Talk to the government. So, sure, you say a lot of adult hobby videos, like, the doll videos, and the people who, build giant Lego cities in their basement that take years and years and cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and people who play, ultra-violent video game playthroughs, and people who play really complicated board games and tabletop games and paint miniatures and all that stuff that kids have no interest in, and it's not made for kids. We know it's not for kids, but you just need one person in authority who says toys, games, all that stuff is for kids, and the adults, doesn't matter if it's your adult playing with it, those adults are freaks and weirdos who are immature. This stuff is for kids, you lied, you're getting fined, and the fine can be over $40,000. So, a lot of adult hobby YouTube is basically having one of a few reactions. There's the people who say, well, this obviously doesn't apply to me, I'm not making stuff for kids, I'm not going to worry. There are the people who are saying, this is the end of YouTube as we know it. All these people who make video game playthroughs, all these people who show how to mod video games, all these people who do anything with video games, which is pretty much the backbone of YouTube, they could potentially be fined. It's not just a $40,000 fine for doing it. It's up to $42,350 per violation, per video. Some people even think it's per child who has potentially seen the video. It's really unclear. It's really unclear how they're going to define something as being for children. Like I said, the most extreme part is someone could look at it and say, all toys are for children. Doesn't matter if it's adult making adults videos for adults. Doesn't matter if it's something that cost thousands and thousands of dollars. Doesn't matter. Because a lot of people do think toys, children, no exceptions. And again, that people like us who still do stuff with toys are just immature. Maybe we are, but we're still grown-ups. So a lot of the people who think, it's not going to impact me, they're just going on as usual. There's some people who are cautiously going to say everything is being for children, which means they lose all their comments. And some people are just going to step back for a while, see how it blows over, and then decide what to do. That's me. I will admit, I also have been getting a little burnt out on making the videos. If you've been watching me, you know I've been doing more and more sewing projects and fewer doll projects. And even when I have a whole armload of doll projects, they're just head swaps. Even head swaps that might require a little bit of dremeling and cutting stuff off. And to me, that's still a simple project. It's not a challenging project. I'm just throwing it together to have something to show you in the video because I feel obliged to make the video every week. And I'm getting to the point where I've been kind of chafing against that anyway. So then you add in this potential thing for the government saying it's all kids' toys. Toys are for kids are for toys, no exceptions. You're going to pay a lot of money for violating that. Or my other option is to lose the comments section. The comments are what keep me going. So, and I'm not going to do anything as complicated as like have the video and then have someplace else you can go to leave the comments, because it's also against YouTube terms of service to send somebody, to make a video that sends somebody off the site. Now you can make a video that says, oh, by the way, you can go to my Instagram, or you can go here and find other stuff about me, and you can go here to buy stuff for me, or here to support my Patreon, but you cannot make a video that's basically says, watch this video, go someplace else. Which if you were doing a video with no comments and you had to go someplace else to comment, that would technically be violating that. So, it's entirely possible. I don't know if you remember Etsy, like 6 or 7 years ago, the CPSIA passed. And I don't remember what those letters stand for either, like the Consumer Protection Safety Information Act or something like that, where basically you had to say, if something was made for kids, you had to say what was in it. You had to say if there was any lead in the paint. You had to say what metals were used for any metal parts. You had to say if it was fabric, what it was printed with, what was used to finish it. You had to be really, really specific. And that's when I was still actively sewing and selling on Etsy stuff for Monster High, and not Blythe so much. Mostly Monster High at that point, whenever this was. And there was a real fear that whatever government agency was enforcing the CPSIA could say, you're violating it, and you're violating it, and you're violating it. So, like, we did put age 14 and up on our listings. And then it turned out that the government agency, I don't remember, it might have been the FTC. The FTC is also the one enforcing COPPA. Might have, whatever that agency was, turned out they did not have the budget to go after individual Etsy makers. They were going after big companies, importing stuff for kids. I'm surprised Floof isn't in here biting me. They were going after the big companies, importing stuff for kids that had, like I said, lead and all sorts of things in them that was dangerous, but on an industrial giant manufacturing scale. The difference between then and now is now we have all these algorithms that are checking everything. Like when they first turned this on last week, a handful of my videos did get flagged as being for kids because they said things in the title like box opening or dolls. And like I said, YouTube is kind of rinsing their hands of this. They're stepping away. They're saying this is between you and the government. So even if in all good faith you're saying this video isn't for kids, all you need, like I said, is one cranky person in the government who says all toys are for children, you're lying, pay us. So this could blow over like the CPSIA thing did, or this could ruin YouTube. It's definitely going to be a big problem for hobby YouTube. Like I said, the video game people and the board game people, and the doll people, and the Lego people, and the Hot Wheels people, and the model building people. You know, all this stuff that we know is not for kids, and kids wouldn't want to have anything to do with. You still just need one stick in the mud to ruin it all. So, I am not leaving online. I will try to post more on Instagram. So I used to do this thing where I do all my customs and I kind of hoard them and show them in the video and then post them. I'm going to try to be more evenly, but like I said, I've been sewing more for me, so I'm actually not quite as inclined to do doll stuff. So this did come at a good time to do a break, and who knows, like I said, in a few months, this might all blow over. We might have been freaking out for nothing, and I might have my Dolly Craftin' mojo back, and I might be ready to make more videos, and that'll work out. Or not. For now, I'm going to take a break, because like I said, I've been kind of wanting to do it, but you always have such great comments and feedback and are so enthusiastic about the videos that I've kept at it. Even some days when I really don't feel like it. So, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to step back. I'm going to thank you so much for watching my videos over this 3+ years I've been making them. I'm going to leave them up. See, this COPPA goes into effect on January 1st. So I'm going to leave my stuff up for a few weeks more. I think they're set where you can download stuff, like if you happen to want to keep my tutorials for painting pumpkin faces or cutting hair or whatever I have actually posted that you would be interested in keeping. The only reason I still have everything on my hard drive is because I just haven't gotten around to deleting them. I'm not that interested in keeping stuff, but everyone's different. So, like I said, this is not necessarily goodbye. You can still find me on Instagram, and I am on Tumblr, but Tumblr's where you go if you want to also know about social and political views, and a lot of you want to keep that out of your doll stuff, so I understand if you don't want to go there and find stuff about me that you didn't want to know. That's fine. Or if you do go there and find stuff about me that you didn't want to know and say, wow, I can't believe I watched this person all this time, that's fine too. But yeah, and I will still be posting on my sewing blog, which again, I know a lot of you don't care about the sewing stuff as much, the full-size sewing. But whenever I do share doll patterns, I will post them there. And again, I will be posting all this stuff on Instagram. It's Andrea Dolzahoy is my Instagram handle. And there's always a link below the videos to my Instagram and to my sewing blog. So, I think that's all I have to say. Sorry anyone who's let down by this, but things change, they evolve, they move. Maybe I'll end up on Vimeo, maybe I'll get a camera that can stream and end up on Twitch. I don't know. I just know right now YouTube, basically they're saying YouTube is just being unreasonable about this, so I'm not too happy with YouTube right now. I feel like YouTube is saying if the FTC says this video violates, this video lies, this video is for children, and YouTube's reaction is to look at the creator and say, how dare you make us save this information about a child? You should have known better. And that's not the reaction when you're the giant corporation who can tweak your algorithms. So, on that cranky note, thank you for sticking with me as long as it was, and maybe it'll get better. Like I said, I will be posting dolls over on Instagram. I wish that Flickr hadn't changed how it changed, because there was a good community going on there too. But right now I am getting a little more into the groove with the Instagram community, especially since I actually have the app installed on my computer so I can interact better. And I can see and respond to DMs on Instagram now. I just forget that they're there so much. So if you try to contact me, have patience. I'm an old person using the internet. I'll get to it eventually. Thanks for everything.